What's going on, guys? It's Adam Waithe, and in today's video we're going to be doing things we did in primary school. Let's do this. Now, if you're not aware, I've made loads of videos about high school, so I thought it's only fair I make one about primary school. Now, it can't just have been my school, but there was always that one kid that got fruit all down his jumper at lunchtime. Now, this is the one messy cunt that always used to get it all down his jumper. He'd have to go lost property, try and find a different jumper, you know, and it'd just be too small. He's an absolute bellend. And it's quite a messy thing. You have to bite it open, you know, it can squirt everywhere. That's what she said. But there's always that one kid, you know, always. I was that one kid, actually. At one point. Go everywhere, just messy, absolute. Just don't want white stuff all over you. There was nothing more frustrating in primary school than when a kid would literally slurp the water fountain before you use it. I remember lining up when I was younger and there was a kid just, you know, like giving a blowjob basically to the water fountain, just slurping, touching the metal bit. You know, the metal bit where the water comes. Oh, I'd avoid the metal bit at all costs because of the germs that would be lurking around there. It's bloody nasty. Absolutely nasty. I'd just be watching the kids slurping all over that metal bit before I use it, and I'd just be there like, oh my god, what are you doing? Now, in primary school, I used to try my best to literally avoid doing work. Well, I still do to this day. So I used to always volunteer when a teacher had a note to give to another teacher. But I didn't just take the note, you know, put it in my pocket and hand it to the teacher. I was a little rebel. I was an absolute rebel. I would open the note and read it. There was no FBI or world-changing information on that note. I just wanted to read it because I was a complete rebel, yeah. And when I was going to deliver the note, I used to always look into my friends' classrooms and start waving at them and doing weird shit. I used to always do that stare thing when you're walking past the window. Bloody hell, we had banter when we were younger. If you could pull off that stare trick, everyone would be amazed. They're like, oh my god, how did he do that? That is incredible. Teacher's cupboard was a sacred place. And when you went in there, you know, it was like you're going into Narnia. It was amazing. It was just the most magical thing ever. I remember this one time my teacher told me to go in there and get some pens. And I was like, Jesus, look at all these pens. And I was a little cheeky little shit, yeah. I used to try and get all the sharpened. You see those fresh, sharpened pencils? I think they were like yellow and black, yeah, those sharp pencils. Oh, I used to always take them ones. And those fat ass rulers, the fat ass rulers that can't even break. It says shatterproof. I used to think that it couldn't break, but then I bend it and it would break. I'm an idiot. The thing that annoyed me about lunchtime was the bloody benches that you had to sit on. There's just one bench for about 50 people. And it's a bit awkward when you had your little tray of food and you have to try and squidge into somewhere. And like if you're late, if you've been kept behind in class and you go to the bench and there's just like a little gap at the end and all your friends, all your best friends are down there. So you're like, you're right, Bob. I'll see you in a bit, I'm just down here. Like if sitting on a dirty table full of 50 people wasn't bad enough, when I was emptying my tray into the bin, I'd drop my spoon. And you know, I'd normally leave my spoon there because I'm like, I'm not getting that silver spoon. I'm not picking it out of that trash. But then there's always that one dinner lady that thinks she owns the place. That one dinner lady that you don't like comes up to you and is like, get it out the bin. So then you have to put your hand into the bin and get out that bloody greasy ass spoon from all the shit. Literally. I had to hold my breath when emptying my tray. I couldn't smell it. I couldn't even look at it. I would actually throw up. Oh fucking hell, man. Yeah. The one part of the day that I hated after a class is tidy up time. And to top off my hatred towards tidy up time, they would sing the song. Tidy up time, I'm a cunt, I'm a cunt. Yep, that's how it went. That's how we sung it in my primary school. That's how I became a dickhead at such a young age. They were teaching us to say cunt. And I'm not even joking. And because I was such a cheeky little shit in primary school, I used to walk around the classroom picking up one piece of paper and pretend I've done the whole shebang. Like I'm actually tidying up, but I'm not. Just walking around, you know, bending over. And the teacher thought I was actually tidying up. They're like, well done, Adam. You're tidying up. And I'm like, yeah. I've had this one piece of paper for the last 20 minutes. I was a badass. I know. It's okay. Summertime, to this day, is my favourite time of year. I remember during summer, they would cut the grass so freshly. It was just so fresh. You just want to run through it, get naked and just run. Maybe that's just me. Now, I don't know if it was just because I was a special child, okay? And me and my friends used to always go around with the grass and just make little bird nests and just make piles of grass. Making grass bird nests was the shit, all right? It was the shit. You see, I wasn't a violent kid, but when it was summer and there was those grass piles, people used to throw grass in your face. Like it was a funny thing to do. I remember just sitting down and a kid comes up behind me with a massive grass pile and throws it in my face, and I have really bad hay fever. So I was so close to dropping this kid. I only had one aim in primary school, and that was to be the leader of heads down, thumbs up. I wanted to be that guy who touches all the thumbs. You know, it just seemed like such a boss thing to do. There was always that one kid during the game that would stand up even though their thumb hadn't been touched. Because they had so much banter, that they would just ruin the game for all of us. Banter King. Banter King. Now my primary school was a bit weird. We used to play some weird songs when everyone walks into assembly. If you were one of these chosen students, you could go up and change the music and play the music at the right time. And now, because I was a musical genius back in the day with those plastic tubes that you slap on the ground, it makes a boom. Yeah, that noise. Boom. Yeah, you know what I mean? I used to always get picked to do the music, so I'd sit up there on the stage and look at all my friends like they're peasants, basically. I'm like a king, changing all the music, playing all these Bible songs, all these church songs. Now, looking back on assembly, it was like slavery. They made us sit on the floor. We had to cross our legs, all nice and tidy together, whilst the teachers sat on the benches. See those prestige benches that had those two fucking lumps that if you sat on it, you basically get anally penetrated? You'd never felt pain until you'd sat on those bumps on the benches. I think half of primary school kids lose their anal virginity from sitting on those benches. Okay, I don't know why, but my school was so religious. Like, there's nothing wrong with being religious, but I've just realised how religious my school was. We would sing all these prayers and, you know, always do prayers before and after the assembly. And we used to sing the cringiest songs. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. That was the tune of primary school. But I used to be a badass and not even sing it. I used to mime it and be like, look at me, I'm miming Kumbaya. Banter. You know, I was just thinking, it was so easy getting in a relationship when you're in primary school. All you had to do was play kiss chase. Basically, if you don't know what kiss chase is, the aim of the game is you have to basically chase girls, and if they get caught, you have to kiss them. The modern day version of kiss chase is called rape, because you have to literally just chase a girl and kiss them if they get caught. Now, I know there are some kinky ass girls out there that would stop just to get kissed by their crush. But I remember some of the boys were saying some creepy stuff when they were doing it. I'm going to get you. Quite a creepy game, actually. Kiss chase. We should do it nowadays. Be easier. Fuck Tinder and all that. You just run around the street kissing people. Let's do it. Now, I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one, but I was 100% convinced in my primary school years that gooey aliens could have babies. So there was me going to the local corner shop, buying two aliens, a female and a male, because you could see the little willy. You can see the little gooey willy on the alien. So I spend my whole day trying to rub them together, you know, stick them together, slam them together, you know, put them in their little gooey blanket, you know, put them all nice and cozy in their little portal thing, pod, and then just leave them and see if they make babies. But obviously the logic in that doesn't really sum up. You know, the alien, it's goo. What the fuck, what are you thinking? But you could buy a pregnant one. So I used to buy the pregnant ones, come in to school and be like, oi, look at this, it's about to give birth, and you pull it out. The little alien, you pull out the little alien baby and be like, wait, look at this, I fucking made an alien baby. Everyone was like, no, how do you do that? We were absolute fucking idiots, I know we are. PowerPoint used to be the most magical thing. I used to love PowerPoint. I used to love putting pictures in there, little animations, little noises, little, you know, all that shit. And when it was my turn to present it, I would always beforehand put a load of effects, loads of spinny stuff, you know, loads of moving shit, just so I could make it seem longer. I used to be the best at PowerPoint because I had this little way where you could make the text go left, right, center, up, down, left, everything. It was crazy. All the kids were tripping out watching my PowerPoint. They'd be like, whoa, the text is moving so much, wow. So that was sick. PowerPoint days were the best days. So much banter. Anyways, that's enough for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a cheeky thumbs up and comment below some more things you did in primary school. I'm going to be doing another primary school video because there's so much more that I've missed out in this video. And if you did enjoy it, please share it around with your friends and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Waithe. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out, dickheads.